Hi guys, what you're going to see here is a recording that I did previously last year. It was before the trip to America, taking guys what we call the recruit. It's guys that we take on to try and take them to the highest level of the sport of MMA. What they do, they get a chance to find out what it's like to be the best or to train like the best. So what you're going to see here is a recording what I did previously with all the extra outtakes of what we did as we were training.
This is Mark Weir, formerly known as the Wizard. Just finishing the last day at California. Seem to be flying out later on with Christian and Dan, two recruit winners of year 2. The program's been running up to 3 years now. It's coming on to the 3rd year. It's been really successful. The first year I thought I'd never match it. I had my son Lyle Weir and Joe Badams. It was unbelievable. Every day we were training twice a day. Off to the beach, enjoying it. At the same time, we were training hard, and I thought, how are we going to compete with that? I had Court McGee, who was an Ultimate Fighter winner. He's training for the UFC, fighting UFC. That was unbelievable for them to experience someone training at the highest of the high and fighting. So I wondered how I can match that. So we started off in going to the UFC in London, which was amazing. Jimmy Manawa, great knockout, sort of really entertained us to finish off the show. The following day we flew out to California, meet up with legendary trainer John Ackerman, the trainer of Chuck Liddell, Iceman, one of the greatest champions ever, light heavyweight champion. It was unbelievable. Greeted by Antonio Banuelos. Again, he's a UFC fighter, WEC, Dreams. He's got a lot of experience. He's very good at teaching the wrestling aspect to the guys, where we're mainly jiu-jitsu based in England. What I found is these guys were just eating everything up, like dying twice a day, brushing themselves off, picking themselves up again. They really done me proud. What I'd like to say is, anybody think about this program, so look in to see what it takes to be world class. If anybody wants to take this sport seriously, even look down the line and making a living, you got to know what it takes, what's demanding of you. And if you enjoy pushing yourself in any sort of sports, to breaking point and going further, this is the way to do it. The program is basically 2 years. Within about 6 months to a year, people start dropping off. You start to see what you're really made of. You will make excuses. Sometimes people lie to themselves even. They think it's a reason, but people do, find it hard, and they give all the reasons. I think the worst reason you can ever have is relationship-wise. Oh, my girlfriend won't let me train, and blah blah this and blah blah that. I think at the end of the day, you've got one life to lead, and you've got to live it the way you want to live it. If someone really cares about you, you can, they support you and let you go and take this route. I've had a great life with this. Every time I could fight, every time I had a fight, I'd take my family on holiday. That's the upside of it. The hard work is brilliant. Obviously, you train hard, you fight easy. So the idea is to push yourself over and over again. These guys are experiencing it. They started off with training with John Ackerman, with some of the guys down here. Some of the veterans that helped out with Chuck Liddell and that. The same process I went through back in the early 2000s. Before he was champion, while he was champion, and after. Okay, it's a way to see what it takes to
so it's the last
be the
round
best.
right now. Last round of the fight.
Myself,
Let's go.
I've won multiple competitions.
Last round.
First off, was traditional, into MMA. I've won loads of MMA titles.
Last round, guys.
You see what it takes for you to be a champion, and when you experience this, you go back with new lease of life. The experience, like I said, is also mainly here is I like to give them a lot of the wrestling side, so they understand how the Americans like to do their takedowns, the cage work and stuff, and apply it to the way that the British do it. I think if you speak to these guys, I thought I'd leave them out today. They've done a lot. They've done podcasts, done a lot of interviews, photos. There's a lot for them. They've been doing it for a couple of years. Really successful. Dan's won both his fights with KOs as well. He's won a title in 2 years, which is a main thing for the program. Do you want to be next MMA champion or cage fighting champion? And he did it within 2 years. He's absolutely loving this, and now he wants to take it to the next level. He wants to take it all the way to the top, and he knows what it takes. Christian again been unbelievable. Where are they now with UFC? And he was on there and he filmed his fight. He did unbelievable. Took the guy out within about a minute. Looked really great. Just before he left the week before, he had another fight. Took the guy out again quickly. Knocking him out with a punch, breaking his jaw as well, which is not what don't want to hurt anybody. But it's amazing power he's achieving at the moment, and I think it's up and up for these guys. I think I'll leave it here. But anybody interested, the program runs again. At the end of this month. It's now March, at the beginning of April. You'll see me start advertising. Do you want to be the next cage fighting champion? If you think you got what it takes and you think you can last the 2 years, get the rewards, come over, travel with me. Obviously the guys had a bonus at the end of the day. Besides going to Hollywood, they met Chuck Liddell, which is unbelievable. I think they was like gobsmacked. They're like very quiet at first, didn't know what to say, couldn't believe what's happening. Hung out around his house. They seen how Liv lives. Took us out, we had a meal. It was unbelievable. There's so many things happened over this time. If you've been following me on Facebook, you'll see all the pictures, updates. It's like anybody really supportive, or people who's willing to push themselves to the best limits of what they enjoy. It's a good way to see that anybody can achieve anything they want to put their mind to.
Okay guys, so that is an outlook of what we do for UFC for the recruit programs, how you train, what it's like to be trained, to be pushed, and you see these guys are struggling and you have to keep going. You do one set, you come back, do another, is what we call compound training. 1 minute you're real barrowing up the hill, your legs are dead, you feel like you can't do any more, then you're pushing a ball, then you're striking, and you're just going round after round, and that's equivalent to it. So you never have a word called quit in your mind. Enjoyed this? This is Mark Weir. Remember, fighting if you sweat, work hard, sweat more, stay young.